Hey everybody, Hofstairs Taurus here, and welcome to a little bit of a review for Decisive Campaign's Barbarossa. Now, I had just finished my first full game as the Soviets, and I lost by 2 points. Fucking awesome. First off, could just go describe a little bit of what happened. I set my original objective to Leningrad, and I managed to hold that pretty well. The Germans never managed to advance past Narva and Luga. Surprisingly, they didn't go for a right hook maneuver up to this area, which I would do, because that would just make it easier to surround Leningrad. Down in Moscow, I managed to hold the area from Rzhev to Kaluga to Tula. The Germans never managed to break past that, and in around early November, the Germans started running away when the blizzard hit. The South, however, completely fisted me. It's really, really bad over there. The South in this game is extremely hard to hold, and even the developers admit that it's very hard that's a lot harder for the Soviets to hold on to there. So yeah, I lost by 2 points, and hopefully I learnt a little bit. I'm pretty happy with my progress in the center and north. It worked out really well, but I have no idea how to hold the South, because it's an absolute nightmare. Because once hang on, where the hell am I? Once the Germans break out from this area here, there's really no way to hold it, because the only way you can hold it is by Kiev, and once that falls, you're pretty much screwed, because you have to back off all your armies from the Dnieper down here and try to run across Kharkov to Stalingrad. It's just so much ground to cover and very, very little defensive areas. It's really, really bad. So yeah, that pretty much lost the game for me at that point. It was very, very enjoyable, but holy shit is this game difficult. Now, for the review, what I love about this game is that there's a constant sense of desperation. And that is what this game excels at. There's a lot more of a role-playing aspect to this, in that you have to oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? What are the words I'm looking for? You have to navigate with your commanders a lot and figure out what they are doing before you can do your objective and how they are going to react. For instance, with the Soviets, the desperation comes from wondering if Stalin's going to lose his shit and start killing off everybody, because that's what he'll do, that constantly. He loves doing that. It's great fun. And with the Germans, it's the rush to get your panzers up front and hoping that the Soviets don't cut them off. I was never able to do this in this one because the Germans managed to provide a really unified front. They rarely, if ever, did any major spearheads, and the ones that they did break through, I was never able to cut them off. You have to do such a wide front that you can't mass up enough infantry to cut them off at that point. The only thing I don't like about this game is the method of controls. I'll show you. To attack an enemy, you first have to click on the enemy, press this button up here, select list, then choose that once. And that is absolutely stupid. It takes forever, because one of the problems is that you can't really identify what units you were clicking on. So you have to go into the units, look at them down here, go into list again, and then select them. You have to remember the numbers of the units if you want to select those ones, and I think that's a really inefficient way of doing it. It's really not my cup of tea. Another negative thing that I didn't really like about this game is that it throws you right into it. There's only one scenario, and you're instantly screwed. The first couple of games, chances are you're going to lose if you're a novice to this. I'm going to lose pretty much all these, because even though I do love these games, I'm not actually all that good at them, even though I'm really good at Gravity, but I suck at the Hex Encounter games for some ungodly reason. What else do I have to talk about? I do not like this stuff up here. I find it's just a little bit hard to navigate. Looking at the reports, it's hard to really understand what you are looking at points. You have to really look at the manual to decipher some of these. It's pretty hard, like chance of occurring. I don't know. I'm talking at my ass right now, so just ignore that bit. Strategic map, pretty good. I'm happy with that. One thing I'd like to mention is that the Germans, pretty much the only reason they won is because they can decide their objective. I mean, my Soviet objective was to hold on to Leningrad, and I did that, but they managed to completely screw me enough down the south that the points that they got were a lot more effective than mine, which sucks so much. What else do I have to talk about? I might do one playing as the Germans, or I might do one playing as the Russians. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what my first full game of this was like. I might be replaying this, but the problem is it's very, very tense. I just don't want to see the South getting completely screwed. I really need to figure out a decent enough strategy to try and win this bloody thing, or at least get a draw or something. I mean, 2 points is that makes me cry. Okay. So, yeah, it seemed to go... Actually, what's interesting is that provided... Well, rather historically, I mean, they were very close to Moscow. From what I remember, is the Germans managed to even get close to enough to the first bus stop right outside the city. And at Leningrad, they were pretty much all around here. So I did better historically than these two places. It's just in the south that I just got completely steamrolled. I just don't know how to handle it. I mean, once Kiev falls and they start crossing the Dnieper River, you're gonna get pretty fucked. It's really not fun to deal with. So yeah, this has been a little bit of a rambly thing. It's less of a review or more of a thoughts on and an AAR clusterfuck. If you enjoyed this content, please let me know. This has been Hofstad's Taurus, and I hope you have a good day.